we're going to start looking at how variables work, because without a variable, computers don't really work at all, because they're a container that allows you to update with new information as it comes into the computer or into the program itself. So first of all, we're going to look at what we call a systems variable, variables that have been written as part of the P5 library. And in this example, we're using a thing called width, which is a variable that contains the width of the canvas. So you can see here that I've drawn a rectangle that starts up in the top left-hand corner and occupies the entire width of the page and is 100 pixels in height. If we then change that, we can see that it's still occupying the entire width because the variable has been updated. It is incredibly useful to be able to track and find out what values are being put into a variable. So in this example, I'm going to put in width, and when I run the program, you'll see down the bottom that it's telling me that it's 600, and that's just looping over and over again, okay, because draw is looping over and over again. If I was to place it in setup, it would run just once. Okay. Being able to combine a variable and update a variable will involve often using arithmetic, such as adding, taking away, dividing, multiplying. So if we add 100 to that, it's now going to display 700. And the same with subtracting, dividing, and multiplying. So that's how you can trace what your variable is doing. Okay, so let's use that now in our program. I'm going to set this to 600 to start with, and I'm going to change this to an ellipse. Okay, and I'm going to, this time, I'm going to use width and height for the size to start with. And what I'm going to do is, instead of have it in the top left hand corner, I'm going to use my width and height divided by 2 to place it in the middle. And now when I run the program, you can see that it's now occupying the whole of the canvas. And of course, because it's a variable, whatever I do up here, the whole thing is going to be relative to the size of the canvas, because it has variability built in. Divide that by 2, divide that by 2. Of course, what's going to happen now, if I change it from squares into a rectangle, you can start to see this now drawing an elliptical shape rather than the circle. So that's using width and height, which is a systems variable.